back. Today's episode will be about NBA trades. I'm filming 2 episodes today, unless I wanted them as an instant premiere. And what I think that means is that I can say release this at Wednesday at 12 a.m. or whenever I want. And then when that time comes, it will just release that video for me at that time, because it will already have processed it and it will just hold it for me, I think. I'm hoping that's how it works because I'm going on vacation this week, so I won't be able to post it. But I feel like these are both important topics that I can't linger on any longer, especially with this one. I'm posting this one first because a lot can trade or change. See, in the next week with trades, there's already been a lot of crazy trades since the KD trade, and it's only gotten, well, it hasn't gone crazier than that, but it hasn't ramped down too much. So today I'm going to be going every trade that involves an NBA player. And the reason I say an NBA player is because a lot of these trades will give you a second round pick for a 2028 second round pick and cash considerations. So I'm not going to talk about a trade like that because it's hard to tell what the second round will look like in 2020 and 2030, 2032, right? So why would we talk about this picks? Those are little kids. But anyways, let's start. First things first with the Kevin Durant trade. So Houston just got Kevin Durant. Houston didn't receive a pick, a different player, anything. So their sole receiving is Kevin Durant. Now Kevin Durant is obviously a really good NBA player. Kevin Durant has a Finals MVP. Kevin Durant is definitely a multi-time All-Star. Um, let's see how many times. Actually, he's a 15-time NBA All-Star. Kevin Durant is obviously a superstar. He has always been a superstar since he was on the Warriors, and he even was really good in Oklahoma with the big three that was too young to shine with him, Russ, and Harden. And he does have an MVP as well. He has the iconic speech where he thanks his mother for everything and says she's the real MVP. You've definitely seen it. But anyways, Phoenix gave up KD, and they acquired then the 10th overall pick and 5 future second round picks and Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. Obviously, the main thing to look at here is they have a lot of picks now. They got a lot of picks for this trade, and they can flip those picks as well. And I think that they probably will because I don't think you're going to need 5 future second round picks. Second round picks usually don't amount to much in the NBA. A lot less players. It's a lot less valuable than a second round pick in the NFL when there's 7 rounds because there's only 2 rounds in the NBA draft, and yet they still stretch it over 2 days. It's like, dude, just do it all one night. Yeah, like this is the morning of day 2. The Sixers have pick 35. So I'll tune in to see who they select, but I'm definitely not watching the whole second round. I watched all the lottery picks in the first round. There was a few surprises actually, but we'll go over that in my draft video. That will be coming out in a few days about the first round because again, I'm filming this the morning of the second round because I have to leave very early. But I actually think Phoenix got a decent return. I feel like people look at this trade and they just immediately disregard what Phoenix got back because Kevin Durant is such a big name. And I understand that. It may not be what you want for Kevin Durant, but you also have to understand that if a player wants out and he's saying, I'm not playing for your team publicly, then a lot less people are going to offer huge packages for this player because they know he's not going to play for you. They know you have to trade him. You can't just, decline that, and if you do decline it, he may not want to play for you in the future. So let's take a look at Jalen Green's stats. He averaged 21 points per game, 5 rebounds a game, 3 assists a game, a steal a game, and not even a block game. But he shot 42% from the field, 36% from tree ball, 53% from tree ball is OD shooting hang poles. Chet Holmgren reference, obviously. So that's crazy because that reference is about Kevin Durant, the 53 from tree ball. But Jalen Green is actually a really good player. I think he could develop into a superstar. I think I am a little bit biased because back in 2K22, I did a Rockets rebuild for about 3 months, and I made them a dynasty, and obviously Jalen Green had his jersey in the rafters in that one. He was obviously up there, him, Sengun, and then a lot of just auto-generate rookies because, again, that 3-month span, that's like 50 seasons. Like, that's a lot of time. They also got Dylan Brooks, who is more of a role player and a defensive player. He averaged 14 a game for the Rockets with 4 rebounds and 2 assists, but he averaged a steal and a block. He's more of a menacing player. He's a player that will go out, give you good minutes. He shot 40% from 3. That's amazing. He probably didn't shoot a lot of threes, but at the same time, he averaged 14 a game, so he was shooting some threes. I think he's a pretty good player. Hold on. Sorry about that. I accidentally just pulled the plug on my mic there. But I think he's a good player. I know the return for Kevin Durant is not crazy, and people are saying, "Oh, the Suns got fleeced, the Suns got scams." But you have to look at it as a standpoint of Kevin Durant did not privately request a trade, right? He made it very public. He released a list of places he wanted to go with Houston on the list. So if you see your face on the list, you're going to make an offer, and you know he's getting traded. You know he said he's not going to play for Phoenix because he's a crybaby and been traded like 4 times in his career. He's a cancer. He's a cancer to an organization. I've had one of those. We've had James Harden here in Philly, and he did the same exact thing that him and Kevin Durant always do. They request trades. That's all they do. But anyways, he is a good player. But if you're going public and saying I don't want to be on your team, then the return for you is going to be a lot less than a return for a player that has just been randomly traded. I don't even think that this is such a bad trade for the Suns because Kevin Durant is going to retire in a year or two anyway, and you just got Jalen Green, who can be a future superstar if developed right, on your team. And now you have the backcourt of Devin Booker and Jalen Green. See, I was thinking Draymond Green. But anyways, I think that this was a mid trade for both sides. I'd give the Rockets a B minus, because I just feel Kevin Durant's too old. And I'd give the Suns a B. I did think the Suns win this trade, and I know a lot of people disagree with me. I just think that if you know you have to trade this player, and they're offering Jalen Green, who is still young and has time to develop, and is already averaging 20 a game, I don't think it's ridiculous to accept that trade. Even though you're not getting many, you're getting second round picks, not first round picks. But we still have a lot of trades to go over other than that one. So the next one we're going to go over is a trade that absolutely angered me that Brad Stevens got away with. A trade that made me super mad because this trade was Anthony Simons to the Celtics for Jrue Holiday. Do we understand how ridiculous that is? Do we understand how ridiculous it is? And guess what? The Celtics got picks from this trade. The Celtics got picks for this. I think that's ridiculous because Jrue Holiday is an old man. Jrue Holiday is a senior citizen. I actually got to look up his age right now. Jrue Holiday is 35 years old. He is not going to be in this league for much longer, and he said he didn't want to go to Portland. He told them he didn't want to go to Portland. I don't blame the Celtics organization for still trading him to Portland because Anthony Simons is a great return. He's like, 22, 24, and he's averaged, he had a lot of good games with the Blazers, and I understand he may not shine super bright with the Celtics when Tatum and Brown are together, but he's going to shine when Tatum's off the court this season because Tatum is injured. He averaged 20 a game with 5 assists a game. He hasn't played in a while, and I don't know if he requested a trade or anything because he didn't play for that last bit of the season. He was out with injury. But I think that this trade is just annoying to me that the Celtics not only got Anthony, but they got picks. I would give the Blazers a D on this trade because Holiday don't even want to play there, so he's going to retire sooner now. And I'd give the Celtics an A+. I think this was a complete fleece. I don't think anyone can debate that the Celtics won the trade, no matter what grades you want to give. But that's just how I see it. So those were 2 big trades, and I think there's 2 more big trades and trades that we'll go over. This next trade was a very interesting one from both perspectives. I wasn't sure about this from either perspective, but I think it was a good trade all around for both sides. So the Washington Wizards acquire C.J. McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second-round pick, and they give Jordan Poole, Saddiq Bey, and their second-round pick. Not their second overall pick. They did not have second overall pick. They drafted, I think, 6th or 7th. But these are both established stars in the NBA. I think Jordan Poole deserves a change of scenery from Washington. I think that Washington was a bad fit for him because he had nothing to play for, nothing to prove. When he was on Golden State, he was playing with Curry in the year they won the championship. He won the championship. He had something to play for, and he made play better. And do I think there's something to play for in New Orleans? I'm not sure. And what I mean by I say something to play for is like Washington was obviously not a playoff team. Like day one, we knew Washington wasn't going to win more than like 25, 30 games. So we knew that they were nothing to be scared of. Now, I feel New Orleans is the same way, but I think if Zion can do the impossible and stay healthy, then him and Jordan Poole would be a scary duo and maybe at least get the 7 or 8 seed and be a play-in team and let them allow maybe sneak into the playoffs and one of those seeds. Now, for Washington, I think this is an interesting trade. And they also got Kelly Olynyk. I'm not sure if I said that because Sadiq Bey and Kelly Olynyk just feel like salary throwdowns. I don't think they're big names. So what Washington is getting is a actual developed star player. He's still a little bit on the younger side, but he is a star. He's a great player. He did a lot of good things for New Orleans last year, and I think that it's not going to be great for him in Washington because, again, I still think they don't have something to play for. Who did Washington draft last night? I don't remember. I told you guys I watched the lottery, and then was it Washington drafted Trey Johnson? Yes, from Texas. So I think that they are just a year or two away from being a playoff team. Not yet. So I think that if they CJ McCollum just grows to be a better player, it'll be a good trade for them. But off of right now, I would say that New Orleans Pelicans, not the Saints, they play basketball, get a B minus in this trade for sending out McCollum. And the Washington Wizards get a B minus as well. I think this was a pretty even trade. I don't think it was great for either side, but I think they both got some good things here. And a great player on both sides. And I think that both players deserve a change of scenery. But is that the right change of scenery to just send them to another trash team? You debate. And the last trade we're going to be talking about. Oh, no, there's two more. There's two more. There is two more because. Oh, I just saw something. I thought that was something else, but I thought there was a live update, but there's not. There is two more trades we're going to talk about. I think that one of them is really a good trade um, for only one side. But let's not say that. Let's not be like that. But a few days ago, June 24th that was 2 days ago. Okay, Kristaps Porzingis, Celtics. Since the Celtics are blowing it up because they traded two of their good players, Jrue Holiday and Kristaps, but obviously they got a good return for Jrue. I made that clear. But I think they did terrible with this trade. So the Celtics gave up Kristaps Porzingis and a future second round pick to the Hawks. In return, they got Georges Niang and a future second round pick. Also, the Nets were involved in this trade for some reason. They got the number 22 overall pick this year in Terrence Mann. So I'm guessing that the second round pick that the Hawks got might actually be from the Nets, and the second round pick that the Celtics got might have been from the Nets as well. The actual players in this trade all come from the Hawks or Celtics because the Brooklyn Nets acquired Terrence Mann and the first round pick in this year's draft, which they used to draft Drake Powell, a good player. Actually, I don't know much about him, but he was the number 22 overall pick. So I think he's going to be good. And to grade this trade, I think we really have to look at why Boston would do this. And to do this, they were getting under, I believe this would get them under the luxury cap, which I think would give them the ability to spend more money in the free agency pool in offseason. I think that this avoids any fines for spending too much money being under the luxury pack. I don't know much about the luxury tax, but I know the reason they did this was to get under the hard cap and luxury tax. So it is a understandable thing to do, especially with Tatum being injured. You know, you're not going to be super competitive, so it might not be worth it to take the tax. I still think it's a terrible trade, though. I don't think you got as much of a return as you could have for Kristaps Porzingis. I think he's a great player. For the Hawks, I would give this trade a B+. I think that he's a great player, but I also think they already have Clint Capella and Trae Young, and I don't know how he's going to fit in. And I know Clint Capella's not like a superstar, but he's a decent player. So I'm interested to see how this works. For Celtics, I'd give this a C minus because it did do some things for them on the financial standpoint. But I just think that the return they could have got for an established star is better. And for the Nets, I give this an A minus. Like, you know, you didn't give up much at all. You got Terrence Mann in the first round pick. That's pretty good for what they gave up. So for everyone So I think that the loser of this trade was the Celtics. I think that the biggest winner was the Nets, but I also think Atlanta did really good by getting Porzingis. Um, and then the last trade we're going to talk about was on draft night. Mark Williams got traded for the second time from the Hornets in 2 years and this year alone, because obviously we know he got traded to the Lakers and failed his physical. So that was a crazy trade too, because Abdul Net, who was like on pace to be Rookie of the Year, obviously he wasn't, but he was on pace at a certain point to be a Rookie of the Year. When they did that trade, so Phoenix just acquired Mark Williams, and so Charlotte gave up Mark Williams. They didn't give up any picks. They gave up a player that they have made open they don't like. They've given up a player that they think is lazy, has a bad work ethic, not healthy, like not in shape. And in return, they got the 29th overall pick in this year's draft, which they used to draft Liam McNeely out of UConn. I believe he was the UConn Freshman of the Year. And they got a 2029 first-round pick and Valasej Micic. Valasej Micic is probably just a salary addition. I do know the name. I know the player. But I just don't think that I don't think that they traded for him thinking that it was a great move. You know what I'm saying? I think that it was more of a salary move to get that trade through. I think that Mark Williams is a decent big. I think he's good. I don't think he's great, and I think Liam McNeely could be good in the league. I think that for both sides, this is a B or C, just because like it's not anything crazy. It's not a groundbreaking trade for either side, but I think it's a good trade um, for the sorry, I can't think, for the Suns. And then Derek Queen was traded. Walter Clayton was traded. Nick Clifford was traded. These are all first-round picks that were given back and forth already. That come up on the trade report as this is the official trade, but we all know that they were previously traded for or traded for before their name was called. So, anyways, thank you for watching this video, and keep a lookout for a video uploaded in a few days with me in this same shirt. Probably actually like filmed like 20 seconds after this because I'm going to film them both at the same time. And thank you for watching. If you stayed this far, I did not mean for this to be a longer episode, but I guess there was just a lot of trades I missed out on. So thank you, and goodbye.